Everybody here is here because they're looking for something. If your life is perfect, you're probably not in roller derby. Hi, my name is Greenburg. I am the all-star captain for the Derby Dolls. You may know me as Oblivienne Westwood. Inside of the Derby Dolls, we have 4 home teams: the Tough Cookies, the Scream Queens, Fight Crew, and Varsity Brawlers. Everybody on those home teams are competing against each other to win a championship at the end of the season. But then on top of that, we take it to another level. We put the best of the best together and we travel around as the Derby Dolls All-Star team. One of the things coming into roller derby that really surprised me is I had an opportunity to be surrounded by people who identified with their femininity and who found strength inside of that, and you really got to see a bunch of people supporting women doing really cool stuff. That was something that was really lacking in my life that I didn't realize it until I was here. So often women are sort of portrayed as being pitted against each other or like catty or not wanting to work together. And I think this sort of really dispels all of that. As a kid, we went roller skating every single Tuesday with my family. That got me into skating just in general. You get the energy out. The first bout I ever attended, I didn't know what I was doing, so I was just looking for something fun to do on a Saturday night. I walked into this hockey rink. There were lights and people on wheels and they had costumes on. And it was one of those things that, like, as soon as I sat down and they started playing, I was like, I want to do this. So after I went to that game, I was like, okay, let's try to skate. I decided my splurge thing with my tax return was going to be buying skates. I was like, I'm committing to this. Until I got to the track on my very first day. And I was like, I cannot get out of the car. I actually ended up having to go back 3 times. So the first time I was just nervous, and the second time I was also nervous, but I ended up getting out of the car and I realized I didn't bring a mouth guard. So I actually had to go through the embarrassment of having to leave and then come back another time and finally get to participate in my first practice. So one of the philosophies we have on the Derby Dolls All-Star team is this concept of friends hit friends hard. If I'm your friend, I'm putting my trust in you that you're never gonna go harder than I can handle, but you're gonna go as hard as I can handle and as hard as you can push yourself to go. And yeah, we have to hit each other. We have to practice that. And we can do it hard. There's no animosity in that. There's no negativity and really laying your friend out. We also set goals for both our personal goals and our team goals for the entire season, and then we go around and we talk through those goals as a group. I had set a goal of wanting to score 100 points in a game. Just for reference, typically if you're a point scorer, you're looking at like 30 to 50 points. This is where sharing with your teammates really comes into play, because I told my teammates at the beginning of the season, hey you guys, I have this crazy goal, I want to do this, and then they were like, hell yeah. I ended up scoring 125 points in a game. It was amazing because it's not just something that I did by myself. This is a team sport truly, and if it wasn't for my teammates, I would not have gotten to do that. I had a string of injuries, one right after another, kind of freak accidents. I broke my wrist. I spent 4 months, rehabbing that, coming back ready to skate. My very first jam in, somebody hit me in just a weird way and I separated my shoulder. And I got through the rest of the season and I was like, I feel awesome, great. I'm gonna go do this cool tournament. And I tore my ACL the first day. That sort of kicked off a really tough couple of years for me. Every time it felt like I was ready to go and moving forward, there was something like pulling me down, and I had to make a lot of decisions and choices about, am I gonna keep doing this? What am I doing with my life? As somebody who's just so used to being like, that's fine, I'll get over this hill, I'll get over this step, I was like, is this the hill that I don't get over? I think telling myself like, there's not an option to quit is a big part of like my ability to be at the place that I am now. And that is just as strong as I was before all of those injuries happened. At this point, I'm basically bionic. I wish people would stop asking me when I'm going to be done skating. I think there's an expectation that as a woman gets older, that you settle down a little bit more, that you are a little bit more docile. And if anything, like, I feel more prepared to go out there and kick ass and run into somebody and throw them to the ground than I did in my 20s. I don't need to settle down. I don't need to calm down. I don't need to stop skating. As long as I feel good doing it, why would I stop? There's somebody out there that has some sort of expectation that you are too old to be doing something, and I just don't believe that that's true. Be yourself for as long as you can be, for as often as you can be. Roller derby has literally changed my life. The derby dolls have brought so much into my life. I have met some of my best friends. I've traveled all over the country. I have experiences I never, ever, ever would have had if it wasn't for roller derby. And if there's an opportunity for you to play roller derby or do something like roller derby in your life, even if it seems hard or seems scary or maybe a little bit weird, try the weird thing. Do the weird thing, because maybe it does work out for you and maybe it becomes something really awesome in your life. Also, maybe it doesn't work out for you, but you know what? You've got a story to tell at every party.